everyone, and welcome to foodandwineblogtv.com. I'm your host, Greg the Beer Man Bissonette. It is 104 degrees outside here in Baltimore, and that is a terrible temperature. So before I do this product review show that I was going to do, I'm going to demonstrate for you a delicious beer to drink on a hot day. It's Liberty Ale from Anchor Brewing Company out in California. It's a really good beer for a day like this. It's fairly light, it's easy to drink, it's palatable, it's refreshing. It's everything you want in like a really nice, crisp, clean kind of beer for hot weather like this. Delicious. Little hints of like fruitiness, almost lagery in a way. Delicious. Okay, so recommended for hot days. It's getting me through. But what do we have today to review? We have two products, or two lines of products. First, we have some flatbreads from Wasa. They're a lot of whole grain flatbreads. And second, we have some dipping sauces, some mustards, from Fischer Weiser. You may remember them from one of the pasta sauces and also a chipotle raspberry type sauce. So I'm going to start with these guys first. They come in these nice 9-ounce little jars, and this is the Brathaus beer mustard. And this guy with the pretzel on top is the pretzel dipping mustard. So I want to give them a shot. Alright, so the pretzel mustard is really dark in color, and you can actually see some flakes of the whole mustard kind of ground in there, like in a rough chop. But it seems to be less of like a whole mustard kind of sauce and more, a little bit creamy. I don't know if you can see that, it's a little viscous. It's got a lot of texture to it. So let's see how it tastes here by itself. It's good. It's sweet. It's a little bit smoky, and then you get that little bit of like tangy kick from the mustard at the back end, kind of cleaning the palate off, refreshing your taste buds. Let's see how it does on a pretzel. And these pretzels were fresh baked here in the house from frozen products. Really nice with the pretzel, although it seems like the mustard, the tang of the mustard kind of hides a little bit, and the sweetness kind of comes out. So if you like a sweeter sauce with your pretzel, this is for you. I want a bit of a spicier kind of thing. Tasty, but not exactly my style. So let's try the Brathaus beer mustard. Bright yellow, classic mustard color. A lot more liquidy in texture. Look at that. Although it's a nice dark yellow kind of color, like a real nice mustard. If you want to get as close to like a hot dog substitute in mustard form as you want, like this is it. I mean, it honestly tastes kind of like it belongs on a hot dog. We obviously don't have one here to taste right now, but let's give it a shot on a pretzel and just kind of see how that goes. It's not really too tangy. It's got a hint of the mustard taste, but really this nice smokiness comes through. On the pretzel, the smoke and the tang kind of come out. It's really good, really nice. Honestly, for a pretzel dipping sauce, I like the Brathaus mustard. Both of them are very tasty. They're also very different. But this definitely would be excellent on a hot dog, a sausage of any sort. Very tasty. Alright, so let's move on to the flatbreads with a nice palate cleanser in the meantime. So these flatbreads, like I said, are whole grain flatbreads, and we have a series of them. We have original, sesame, and rosemary. These boxes come with 2 of these packages on the inside, and the packages have, if I was diligent I would have read, but they have something probably like between 10 and 12 of these guys, these little flatbreads, inside of them. They're, you know, kind of nice. They're good for dipping. They break pretty easily. And pretty tasty. So this is the original. You get kind of that grainy kind of flavor. Obviously it's quite dry. You know, there's no salt, there's no extra stuff on this. And it's just a nice little like thing for dipping. It's kind of a bland palate, but you can add much to it if you want. Have it with cheeses, dip it with the mustard, which I'm going to try right now. You know, that sort of thing. It's not a bad idea. It's pretty tasty though. Alright, let's move on to the sesame. This looks quite similar to the original, although the original looks a little bit darker perhaps, but you know, who knows. There looks like there are little tiny sesame seeds baked into this. You probably can't really see that here, maybe I'll include a picture later on, but there's little seeds baked in. Seems to have the same kind of like durability as the first one, it breaks kind of the same. You know, it tastes, I feel like there's a good amount of sesame in there. And the sesame is honestly like a lighter, more mellow kind of flavor. It comes out towards the end. Really quite nice. It's not overwhelming sesame, but it's just kind of like a little bit of sesame with some grains. Nice and mild, nice and whatever you want. Mix it with, again, some cheese plates. This is quite tasty. Or just snack on it. Alright, so now, let's go to the rosemary. And the rosemary, like the sesame, has little bits of rosemary kind of baked in there. I'm not sure if you can see the darker kind of little wedges. Seems to be a little bit lighter in density. And that like, dried rosemary is quite pungent, so you don't see many of them in here, but it's really robust. It has that like nice citrusy, almost rosemary kind of flavor. It's quite tasty. So, what can we conclude from this? I think these flatbreads are tasty. You know, put sauces on them, dip them in mustard, serve them with cheese, whatever you want to do. Especially these original ones, you might want to do this with like a wine tasting, have them kind of like a palate cleanser. Mustards, also very tasty. Personally, I prefer the one that has a little bit more zing, but that's personal preference. And beer to get you through on a hot day, can't beat Liberty Ale. Alright, cheers, hope you're all staying cool.